Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday today. Enjoying your weekend with your family. And today, guys, I want to share with you how to easily create $1 million generational wealth for yourself and for your family. So if that is something that interests you, please join me. Go ahead and hit the like button and share this so more people can get this information. So, if this is your first time joining me, if you don't know who I am, my name is Alex. I'm a financial coach and licensed insurance advisor. And I show people how to create wealth, eliminate taxes, how to build income so you can create more wealth for yourself and for your family so you can live your best life and leave a legacy. So, if that's something that interests you, please consider liking and subscribing. So, if you're joining me, go ahead, put your name in the comment box so I can shout you out directly. And if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to chime in. I love to answer any questions you may have. So if this is any of it, if someone out there, if you know me, you know that I love sharing information with you that's going to do what? Help you create more wealth, help you create more income, help you legally look at tax situations to figure out how to pay as little taxes as possible to help you invest, right? And also how to protect your assets. So I'm always showing and sharing with you ways and strategies to do that. And today I want to show you how to easily create $1 million wealth for generations, for your generation and the next. I want to share with you some little known ways and a little known strategy that you can use to do that. And so you might have heard people talk about IUL. IUL is also known as Index Universal Life Insurance. So today I want to share with you how one family was able to do that, how they were able to create generational wealth for their children. And I'm going to show you how they were able to do it. Okay. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully, you can see my screen and you probably see a lot of numbers up here, and I'm going to share with you what these numbers mean. Okay. So, this is an example, an illustration of a family, okay, that I was working with, and they had a child that was 10 years old, okay. And so I talked with them and I shared with them how they were able to use life insurance to create generational wealth for themselves and for their family. Unfortunately, most people think that life insurance is only for somebody dying and then a child or a beneficiary getting the benefits. But what I want to share with you now is how life insurance can be used while you're alive, while you're living, right? And how you can take that generational wealth and pass it on tax free to the next generation to help them live even better going forward. So, in this example, I'm going to go back here and I call this the wealthy kid. As you can see, the wealthy kid here. And they have a son, and the son is 10 years old, as you can see here. All right. And so, because the child is 10 years old, they are a minor, so they obviously cannot enter into a life insurance agreement. So, the parent, I call them down here smart parents, right? So, that's what I call them. All right. So, the smart parents are the ones who have a life insurance policy on their 10-year-old son, the wealthy kid. All right. So let me show you how life insurance can be used to create generational wealth, wealth that can be used now for these smart parents, and can be passed on to the child in the future. Okay. So as you can see, as I said before, the child is 10 years old and the parents has a policy on the child. So let's take a look at what is possible. Okay, what is possible? Again, most people think life insurance is all about just getting the most amount of life insurance that you can get for as little as possible. But for people who are looking to build wealth, they understand that it's really about using life insurance to maximize the tax free wealth accumulation benefits associated with life insurance that you cannot get with 401ks, IRAs, and those types of investments. Then there's also the fact that life insurance, when you choose the right policies and you structure them the right way, you no longer have to be concerned about market risk. And I'm going to show you how that works. Okay. All right. So, are you guys with me? Is this making sense so far? Please put in the comments that you're following me. Okay. Because I know sometimes when people see a lot of numbers and a lot of stuff, sometimes your eyes start to cross over and get a little glazed. But I just want you to understand. Just follow me. Hopefully, I explained this very clearly enough for you to understand and follow me. Okay. All right. So in this case, what we have done is we have structured this particular life insurance policy for the wealthy kid who is 10 years old, right? What we're doing is we're gonna buy $100,000 of life insurance for the 10-year-old, or yeah, for the 10-year-old. So now that means if anything should happen to this child from the moment the life insurance policy goes into effect and is issued, from that moment, if something happens to the child, God forbid, the parents would actually be able to receive $100,000 tax free, okay, tax free, to take care of any of expenses associated with their passing or their death. All right. What people also don't know is, God forbid, if something should happen where the child gets becomes terminally ill, chronically or critically ill or injured, this $100,000, right, from day one, you can actually use some of that money to help take care of or cover some of the expenses associated with with the child becoming terminally ill, chronically or critically ill. Okay, that's the great part, where immediately, all right, um, an estate is created right off the bat. So from day one, there's $100,000 right there for the child. Okay, let's go on and take a look at what happens next, and you guys are gonna love this. Okay, so what we're gonna do is, in this case, for this child, it only cost $28 a month for $100,000, or in this case, as you can see over to your far right, $102,000 of death benefit. It only cost $30 a month for $102,000. Okay? All right. However, these smart parents have been working with me, and they know, because I've explained it to them, I showed them how they can do this. These smart parents have decided, yes, we can only pay $30 a month and we'll have the $102 of death benefit from day one, right? That $30 a month will never change for as long as the child lives, right? They'll only pay $30 a month. But these smart parents know and understand the tax benefits and the benefit of life insurance, because every dollar that goes into their life insurance policy, in this particular type of policy, that money will now begin to grow and accumulate tax-free. Tax-free. So what they have decided is they're going to put more into their life insurance policy than they have to. So in this case, they said, "Hey, what we're going to do is, again, this is an investment for the parents. So they have decided that we're going to pay $200 a month. So instead of me putting $200 into a 401k, instead of me putting it into an IRA, I'm going to take the $200 and I'm going to put it into my child's life insurance policy." Okay? All right. So right here you see where it says planned premium, $2,400. That's for the entire year. So that means that's $200. Okay. The $200 that they pay every single month, $30 of it will pay for life insurance, and the other $172 is going to go into a savings account right here called accumulated value. You see that? Okay. So in year number one, they would have paid $2,400. And as you can see over here under the accumulated value, they have now $2,078 that is sitting in their account, in their accumulated cash value tax-free account. Okay. And they still have the $102,000 of death benefit. You see how that works? So let's move forward. So the parents have decided, I'm going to keep paying the $200 a month. Instead of me putting in a 401k, instead of me putting in the IRA, I'm going to put it in my child's life insurance policy. So as you can see here, they're paying $2,400 until year 6. You see they pay a little bit less. All right, they pay a little bit less, but then in year 7 they pay $2,200. Okay, so it's roughly is less than $200 a month. It's a little bit less than that, right? So they're gonna pay $2,200 from from the time the child is 16, and they're gonna pay that for the rest of their life. Okay, all right. So as you can see over here under accumulated value, the accumulated value here is also growing. Can you see that? You can see that, right? So just for instance, by the time the child graduates high school at age 18, there is $21,000 here of cash value that the parents can use. And since they are smart parents, they know that they would not use it for anything frivolous, right? So they're smart enough to know, hey, we'll use this to help pay for college. Okay, that's what we've decided. All right. But if they decide not to do that, they can just let the money just continue to grow and continue to ride. So as you can see here, by the time the child gets to be 25, okay, you see here, there is almost $50,000, right, in the account. If something, God forbid, should happen to the child, the parents will actually now get almost $150,000 tax free. All these amounts are tax free. Makes a huge difference. Okay. So let's just say, for instance, the parents are continuing to pay up until the child gets to be 30. All right. And at age 30, the parents say, hey, look, wealthy kid, all right, as you know, we have this life insurance policy that we have been paying $200, right around $200 a month for, a little bit less, but we've been paying this $200 a month since you've been 10 years old. We're going to make you the owner of the policy under the stipulation that you must continue. You promise us that you're gonna keep the policy in force, and you're gonna at least pay the $30 a month. But at best, if you can continue to pay the $200, this is going to benefit you tremendously. And because the child has smart parents, the child says, okay, mom and daddy, I got you. I'm gonna do it. So at 30 years old, the son becomes the owner of the policy. All right, you with me? Okay, now at 30, he decides he's gonna continue making the $200 a month payments. He only has to pay 30, but he's smart because his parents told him you got to keep paying the 200 because this is gonna benefit you down the road. All right. So at 30, the 30-year-old now has $77,000 of accumulated value that he can touch, that he can access, right? If he wants to access that and use that for a down payment on his home, he can do that. If there's some investment property or something that the 30-year-old sees that he wants to use the money for, he can access that money to do that. If he happens to see that there's some other wise investment where he can he can access the 77,000 and then he can use that to leverage another asset that can be working for him. He knows the benefit. He knows that this is money that you want to use wisely to make your money grow. But it's there for him at 30 years old, uh, moving forward. But we just say, hey, he's just decided, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna let it rock. I'm gonna continue to put the $200 in, and I'm gonna use this as my as my retirement. So he continues to pay until he is 65 years old. Once he gets 65 and he's ready to retire, he has $800,000 of tax-free money that is sitting in his account. His beneficiary has $985,000 of death benefit if something should happen to the wealthy kid at age 65, right? His beneficiary would get right at just shy of $1 million. $1 million generation, $1 million wealth has been created over the lifetime of the smart kid. All right. Okay. Let's continue. So the kid, the wealthy kid, decides he's going to retire at age 65. In this example, I'm showing you. This shows that the child, the smart kid, is now able to get lifetime income for the rest of his life of $56,000 a year, tax free. That $56,000 a year tax free is equivalent to $80,000 before taxes. And this wealthy kid is now going to get this for the rest of his life. You see that? $56,000 every year until he passes. Okay? Let's say, for instance, he happens to pass at age 85. At age 85. So that means for 20 years, he actually received $56,000 of tax-free income. That means he actually got paid $1.1 million. Million dollars now, right? He actually got paid $1.1 million if he lived to be 85. And the beautiful thing about it is if he decided, right, if he passed away at 85, that there's still a death benefit for his beneficiaries of $120,000 sitting in the account to help take care of his estate, to help take care of his final expenses and what have you. Okay, if he decided to if he passed away earlier, so he would have, say for instance, he passed away at 80 instead of 85. He would have still gotten the $56,000 until he passed away at age 80, but his beneficiaries now actually able to get $400,000 tax free. So this right here, ladies and gentlemen, this really shows the value of life insurance and how it can grow tax free and how you can access the tax value throughout the years. Now let me go back. And because they were the owners, because the parents were the owners of the life insurance policy, right? Until they turned it over, if they decided to turn it over to their child at 30, see, their parents would have access to this cash value. So if they decided to just say, hey, we're just going to continue paying on it until, all right, then as the owner of the policy, the parents would have access to this accumulated value over the years. At which time, whenever they pass it over or pass it on to their child, the child becomes the owner of the policy, and then they get access to the accumulated value. Okay, they can access it at any time, tax free. They can use it. Hopefully, they're smart and they're using it to leverage and to put it into other assets that's going to help them grow, help their money grow, right? Or if they just decide, hey, I'm smart enough to know if I had to get life insurance on my own, I'm going to wind up paying more per month for that life insurance than me just continuing to keep this policy in force. So he knows that the death benefit over here is continuing to grow every single year. So by the time he gets to be age 65, there's a death benefit, like I said, of $961,000 that can be passed on to his family if he decides not to use it for lifetime income. All right. So that is kind of a breakdown of how this works. Okay. I'd love to see if you have any questions, any comments. I would love to kind of address some of those that you might have right now. But this is, in my estimation, in my opinion, this is by far one of the most powerful financial tools that you can have. Mostly because, number one, it grows tax free. Okay. 401ks don't do that. IRAs don't do that for you. Okay. Number two, you're able to access that money at any time, unlike 401ks and IRAs. If you wanna be able to access the money in a 401k before you are 59 and a half, you're gonna have to pay taxes and you're hit with a 10% penalty as well. Okay. Um, so this thing is just powerful and extremely versatile because it grows tax free. It grows regardless of market risk. Okay, because your money is invested or put into a cash value account and not put directly into the stock market, you can actually get stock market like returns without the risk of losing your money in the stock market. So if I go back very quickly, as you can see here, this accumulated value, this whole column here is how your money is actually growing. And your money is actually growing based on the returns that you can get with the S&P 500. That's what this one is tied to. Okay? So as you can see, the amounts are growing. And I never have to worry about me losing value because my money is not directly invested in the stock market. I'm getting stock market like returns, but I never because my money is not directly invested in the stock market, I never have to worry about losing money like people are losing money right now with their 401k and their IRAs. I never have to worry about that. So the monies that I have invested in the stock market, the monies that I have invested in the stock market, I'm down 18.5% just for this year. So the money that I had at the beginning of the year, I have 18.5% less in my stock account. But in my life insurance account, because the rate is negative, the value in my life insurance policy has locked in. I do not lose value in my life insurance policy. So that is yet another benefit associated with life insurance that you cannot get with 401ks and IRAs. All right. So let me just say again that there are so many different strategies and so many different ways that you can use life insurance to create wealth for yourself and for your family. And I would love to show you how you can do that. And if you have any questions, if you do not have a life insurance policy in place right now, or even if you do, I highly recommend having a policy review. So, because life insurance policies are always changing, and companies are always adding some new and different benefit. So, I always recommend to people, number one, if you have life insurance with your employer, that means your employer has life insurance. You do not. So that means when you happen to reach age 65 and you retire, in all likelihood, right? That life insurance policy is no longer yours. The cost associated with keeping the life insurance in force is going to be so much more expensive that it becomes prohibitive, meaning it's going to be so expensive that you say, hey, I can't afford that, and it lapses. So when you pass away, if your only life insurance policy is with your employer, that means in all likelihood you will not be working when you pass, which means you have no coverage, which means your family will not get a dime. So you need to have a life insurance policy outside of the one that your company or your employer has. So that's number one. Number two, life insurance, you're able to put as much as you possibly can into it up to a limit. And I can explain all that to you. But you're able to put as much as you possibly can because it grows tax free. And just like Cardi B says, once the value is up, it's stuck. You never have to worry about losing value in your account due to market risk. You can use it for lifetime income, tax free. You can use it for long term illness, critical or chronic illness, if you happen to become sick or injured. Let me tell you something. This life insurance, when it's done the right way and it's structured the right way and the right type of policy, is a game changer. So if you want to learn more, you can go to Cannaly.com and schedule some time with me / allure. Okay. You can go to Cannaly.com / Alex Allure. And I would be more than happy to sit down with you and explain how life insurance can, number one, add protection for your family. Number two, you can have tax-free growth, how you can have lifetime income in retirement, how you can get long-term care also provided in case you need it. Guys, this thing is incredible, and that's the reason why I made it my mission to share it with as many people as possible, to dispel as many myths and misconceptions as possible, because historically people have been shared some inaccurate information about life insurance, and those things have continued on And so a lot of people now are in a place where they're not leveraging and not taking advantage of this very valuable tool. So I love to show you how this can work for you and for your family, and how you can create $1 million wealth for your family as well. All right. So go to Calendly.com/Alex Allure. Get on my schedule. I love to talk about your financial needs and how life insurance might be able to help you fulfill those needs. All right. So if you have any questions, I love to answer any questions for you. If not, man, thank you for watching. Please like and share this information so it can get out to more people, so they can get protection and they don't have to go to GoFundMe's to take care of their final expenses. All right. So take care. God bless. We'll see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.